Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
The Optimus robots will walk among you. Please be nice to the Optimus robots. So you'll be able to walk right up to them, and they'll serve drinks at the bar. And you'll directly. I mean, that's just it's a wild experience just to have humanoid robots, and they're there. And what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind.
With a price tag of $30,000, Elon Musk has launched his Tesla robots. And we're all looking forward to that, aren't we? I hope they're not built like the Cybertruck, because that thing falls apart at the blink of an eye.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things happening. And one of them I want to discuss today is what's going on in the sky with these northern lights that we're seeing. And I put it in quotations because if you know, you know. I just want to know what the general consensus is thinking about this. They're gorgeous, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, but are they natural? Are they supposed to be like that? And do you think that it's natural and normal? Are you in the category that thinks it's from chemicals or HARP?
So the Northern Lights came down really far south again. My niece in Missouri posted some pictures of the Northern Lights there, which is really far south. I've got a few clips to show you of what people are thinking.
Hi guys, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just here to warn you that what you're seeing outside the Northern Lights is not normal. It is not the Northern Lights. You are being fooled by a company called HARP who are responsible for geoengineering, and they're doing things. Now HARP stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Programme. What's the name for the Northern Lights? It's the Aurora Borealis. These guys are trying to convince you that you are seeing the Aurora Borealis. You are not. This is all manipulated. It damages the earth. It damages the balance of the earth. The sun should not be shining white. The moon should not have disappeared for over a week. It's come back now. All this stuff that you're seeing is not normal. You are being lied to and manipulated. This is down to geoengineering, guys. The evidence is clearly there. Just go and take a read. Over and out.
Now, all of my life, I've never heard of the Aurora Borealis being seen as far south as it has, twice in the last less than a year. There's got to be something to it. Was it HARP?
So this was my backyard last night. I live on the East Coast. I live in Connecticut. Northern Lights in Connecticut. So a few people had told me that it had something to do with the sun, a solar flare. Maybe. I also know that CERN is doing testing around this time, I believe. I'd love if you guys know anything about CERN, throw that in the comments. This was absolutely amazing. Did anybody see this last night? This was so cool. Northern Lights on the East Coast. Wow, tremendous. God is beautiful, man. God makes all this happen. This is crazy cool, man. Like, I can't believe I got this on picture. That's literally my backyard. No filter right there. Wow, nuts.
Well, he went from CERN to an act of God pretty quickly. If you know what CERN was doing during those days, let me know.
Will the aurora tonight be as big as the one in May? And what's with the electric surging in the ground right now? I'll explain. There's a geomagnetic storm. I'm meteorologist Todd Gross. So in case you didn't hear, a geomagnetic storm hit the Earth at exactly noontime today, and that's when you see this spike in what's called the K-index. We are flying up at a K-index of 8 right now, which is near the maximum, which could be up to 9. Now, we did get a 9 K-index in May, on May 10th, but Look what has happened in Europe already in terms of seeing the northern lights. They're seeing it all the way down to the Alps, even though the auroral oval is all the way up here, the lower part of Scandinavia and Scotland. That's pretty good. What's with that electric current? So NOAA actually contacted the North American Grid and FEMA to warn them of this electrical surge that's happening right now. And what's going on is it's reached as high as 5 volts per kilometer. Right now, the eastern United States and northwest Canada and Alaska are having the worst of it in terms of the electric current flowing through the ground. But it hasn't overloaded systems at this time because at 5 volts per kilometer, you're still at about a quarter of the amount that took down the Quebec power grid back in 1989. So far, so good there.
So a geomagnetic storm caused by a coronal mass ejection. Another one. That's where my concern is. It was another coronal mass ejection. Yeah, we get them all the time, but never this powerful that they cause the aurora borealis to come so far down south. What's coming next? Okay, that's the last one about that. Let's move on to other stuff.
Okay, I just sent you guys a video. It's an apparent electrostatic discharge of the moon. Do you think that's real?
I don't think it's real.
This says the moon's surface can become charged due to a number of factors, including solar wind, solar storms. The moon's surface can become highly charged in some areas, which could pose a risk to astronauts. For example, if the moon's surface becomes charged to thousands of volts, it could cause electrical sparks that burn out electronic equipment.
So it's just a ball of electricity, potentially? What if why don't we put solar panels on the moon?
You know what? Yeah.
Wouldn't that like energize like crazy?
Well, then how would we get the power back?
Carry it? Carry it, put it in a bucket or something? I don't know.
Get a really long extension cord.
I don't think that video was real. But at the same time, I do believe that there is a possibility that the moon could probably carry a charge. I mean, the Earth carries a charge. It's got its own little frequency thing going on. Why couldn't the moon? And we don't have to worry about astronauts because we're not sending anybody up there anytime soon. We haven't in a long time. For why, we don't know, but we haven't.
We are literally witnessing history being made. SpaceX's Starship rocket has successfully landed upright, topped by a massive metal landing tower featuring 2 converging chopstick arms. This marks a significant engineering milestone for the world's largest and strongest rocket. This 5th test flight of Starship is crucial for Elon Musk's plan to colonize Mars and NASA's goal of returning astronauts to the moon. Musk aims to launch 5 uncrewed missions to Mars within the next 2 years, with crewed missions to follow. SpaceX reports that the spacecraft splashed down precisely, but the booster's upright landing marks a historic achievement for aeronautics and a key step to full rocket reusability. Musk highlights this as a big step to making life multiplanetary. In the past, SpaceX landed its Falcon 9 boosters on either barges or land, but having Starship return to the launch site signifies progress towards an airline-like operation. This precision landing is vital for lunar missions, with NASA investing $4 billion into the Artemis program to explore the moon's south pole. The rocket launched from Brownsville, Texas, and required meeting thousands of criteria for the catch maneuver. The booster descended at an angle before reigniting its engines, landing parallel to the tower before flames emitted for a brief moment. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson acknowledged the importance of this test for future lunar exploration, emphasizing the need for continued testing for ambitious missions to Mars and the Moon. Despite the challenges ahead, this precise landing marks a significant advancement in human capability, inspiring optimism for future space exploration. This is awesome. Congratulations to Musk and all of his engineers and physicists and everybody else that was a part of this that made it happen.
Well, that's pretty exciting. Congratulations to SpaceX. That's a really cool achievement, and it's fantastic. I guess we will be going back to the moon sooner than I thought.
So, maybe I'm reaching a little bit, but it's awful suspicious to me that a grocery store would be selling stuff that came out of the back of the semi in their parking lot. Stuff that isn't even well kept. It's damaged, it's just thrown in together. It's almost like they stole it from the donations from North Carolina. Now I could be wrong and I could be reaching and this could just be a truck that fell over. What do you think?
As a former truck driver, I used to go to distribution centers and pick up product, and they would have bins full of miscellaneous product that for one reason or another they couldn't ship to the customer. So that's what I think it is. I think it was just those bins of extra stuff from the distribution center.
Okay, who woke up today expecting for their whole For You page to be about this UFO crash supposedly in DC? Now, I find it odd, especially with all these articles saying that just weeks out, we can have evidence that aliens or UFOs exist. On top of it, the Black Insurrection is saying that he's going to release evidence today that Touchdown Tim, did some stuff. And I think it's odd that, I had this dream that I wrote the poem about. Reality give, reality take. The world was lost in Olympic State. Olympic State being Washington, or maybe it was actually Washington, D.C. I don't know. Comes not from night nor the day, a solar flare would rip it away. And we just had a giant G5 geomagnetic storm. They come not from far nor the space. So they're not from outer space. Fake emergencies they will create. So let's look at the facts of the poem. The poem says that in Washington, there will be a distraction, an alien distraction, to prevent things from being seen. They want to be left unseen.
I didn't hear about any alien crash in DC. There was nothing like that on my For You page. I had to type in aliens and then boom, this guy comes up. But that's kind of cool. Maybe they're going to go ahead with Project Bluebeam after all.
When you hear the name Bill Gates, you probably think Microsoft founder. But now the billionaire may be known as the hurricane tamer. Gates is listed as one of 13 inventors on a patent filed for hurricane prevention methods. Hurricanes gain strength from condensation driven by warm surface water, which leads to greater wind speeds. Gates and his team plan to use a fleet of ships to cool warm surface water by mixing it with colder water from greater depths. They hope this will sap energy from growing storms, leading to weaker, less devastating hurricanes. The patent, which isn't expected to be approved for another 18 months, was submitted by C-REIT LLC, a sub-entity of an Intellectual Ventures and an invention acquisition and development firm.
That heading was a little misleading because the hurricane technology that he had patented is supposed to help reduce the hurricanes, which would have been nice this season because we had record high ocean temperatures. And if you know weather, you know that if there's record high ocean temperatures, we're going to have a big hurricane season. So this would have been a good year to get out there and, I don't know, see if it worked. Oh yeah, it's Bill Gates. He doesn't care about anybody but himself and his money.
Many different UFOs and strange anomalies have been seen in the month of October. Not only did we go through a hurricane, Hurricane Milton, which broke records, but people all over the world are showing these strange things happening in the sky. The question is, what is really going on? As you look at some of this footage, I do have to warn you, it's very shocking and it gives you this feeling inside that like something's not right. But watch these videos. Purple skies, lights in the sky, UFOs, interdimensional beings. Now this is all over the world that these videos are popping up right now in the month of October. What is going on? Look at that. Look at that straight line in the sky. That is impossible. It looks like a TV screen. All over the world this is happening, guys. Something's going on. There's spiritual warfare going on right now. It's a fight between good and evil. Look at this, explosions in the sky. You better get your life right with the Lord. Look at that. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. But tag someone in this video, share this with someone, and it's time for us to wake up, guys, and get our life and our family in order. What do you guys think that these videos are about?
Some of those look like camera flares, and some of them look like just distorted video, and some of them I cannot explain. Perhaps they're aliens. I know that silver orb one, I definitely believe 100% that that is an alien orb. I don't ever argue about silver alien orbs at all, period. Don't do it.
Dropping bricks from a height can generate electricity. This is the concept of gravity energy storage. When there is surplus electricity, multiple cranes are used to stack bricks like building blocks to form a large open-air tower. When there's a peak in electricity demand, you simply let these bricks fall using gravitational potential energy. The falling bricks drive generators to produce electricity. Unlike pumped storage, which requires a location with elevation differences, this gravity energy storage is not limited by location. However, in severe thunderstorms or high winds, there is still a risk of collapse. Fortunately, there are countless abandoned mines around the world, and designing such a gravity system in a mine is much safer than in an open-air tower. If there are no mines, you can also build hundreds of multi-level shelving systems to achieve gravity energy storage. The gravity lamp works on this same principle. You just need to hang a weight next to the lamp, and as it slowly descends, it pulls a string in the center of the lamp, which activates a generator to produce enough electricity to power the lamp for 30 minutes. As long as you reset the weight every 30 minutes, you'll have a continuous supply of eco-friendly, battery-free light. And by combining gravity and buoyancy, you can create a self-powering device. Buoyancy allows small balls to rise, and after rising, the balls fall due to gravity, continuously cycling to generate electricity.
How absolutely brilliant is that?
Donald Trump just threatened California and said that if he becomes president again, he will withhold money from the state should they be hit with another round of wildfires. I'm going to say that again because it is too crazy to comprehend. Donald Trump, the Republican Party's presidential nominee, just told the people of California that he would let them burn alive. Also, that he could stick it to Gavin Newsom. That is the opposite of what it means to be a president. That is criminal.
I love when people take things that somebody who has opposing views says and turns it around to fit their own agenda, because Trump has been saying this for years. I live in California and I'm not afraid of that. And here's why he's been saying it.
This is the view from the outside of my backyard in Northern California. All smoke, ash falling out of the sky. We need to do a better job at forest management, huh? How about we hire some people throughout the whole year just to keep the forest managed? Oh wait, that's supposed to be the current employees' jobs outside of fire season. Come on now, boys. California do better.
California has self-inflicted all of these forest fires that we've been having due to our own bad forestry practices and our own faults. So it begins with European settlers coming across the Sierra Nevadas and coming down into California. They are used to maintaining forests the same way you do in Europe. No fires ever. We need to stop all the fires, put them out. And so they took that practice and they brought it into California. And so for the last 100+ years, we've been putting out forest fires as quick as possible before they get any kind of burn going on. But the thing is, the California pine trees are able to withstand a certain level of forest fire. A fire coming through and burning out all the ground brush and the overgrowth and the dead wood that's there is a really good thing to clear it out and keep the forest healthy. You know, those nutrients get into the soil, it regrows from there, and then new life and activities can come. But since we've been putting out these fires for the last 100 years, all the overgrowth is still there, and it's building up and up and up. And now, like when a fire comes in, it's just a pile of kindling just sitting right there ready to go. And then boom, then you get a huge forest fire that's so hot and burning so bright and high that the pine trees can't stand it anymore.
For years, Gavin Newsom has been mismanaging government funds. They're supposed to be clearing the forest and getting rid of all of the stuff that can burn off the ground. You know, little nettles and leaves and all that crap that just piles up and leaves fuel for the fire. It's not getting done. It hasn't been getting done. And that's exactly why Trump is like, hey, we're giving you all this money to do this and you're not doing it. So when fires happen and they burn all of this stuff, it's your fault because I already gave you money and you mismanaged it. So
This was a rally held in Southern California late yesterday, local time 5 p.m. Police say that was as Donald Trump was taking the stage at the rally to begin speaking. They pulled over a black SUV. Inside, they found one unregistered shotgun, another unregistered handgun, and a high-capacity magazine. The 49-year-old from Las Vegas, who was in the car, was taken into custody. Apparently has since been released on bail, but a senior police officer in the area has conceded to local media that he believes they averted a third assassination attempt on Donald Trump. No giving of evidence as to why they believe that was the aim of the gunman or the accused gunman, or why he was released on bail if that's the case. But we know, of course, of the other two attempts on Donald Trump's life so far this year. This may have been a third just 23 days from the election.
What the actual F? Seriously? Oh my gosh. Again, a third time. People, this is not the answer.
According to the New York Post, there has been a third assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. This happened when authorities intercepted an armed man or two right outside of Trump's rally in Coachella. So this is the question that I have. At what point do people in the mainstream media stop basically cheerleading for another Trump assassination attempt to happen? At what point do the people at The View and the people in these cable news sets and everybody else start to calm down their rhetoric and stop cheerleading and stop wanting so desperately for this man to be assassinated? This is completely unreal. And for all they say about what conservatives are saying online and our rhetoric and things that we talk about or whatever, it pales in comparison to what these people say and how they discuss Donald Trump. There are people that joke about the assassination attempt that happened a couple of months back. They said, oh, well, you know, too bad that he missed, and I wish that his head was at a different angle so that you could, like, this stuff is crazy. And I got to tell you, if we do not tamp down this rhetoric, it is not going to stop. It's terrible that people are still making these attempts.
He's so right. I've never seen anything in my life more disgusting than people in the mainstream media and on social media in general being disappointed that these individuals who are going out there to commit this heinous crime didn't succeed. That is absolutely appalling. That is the type of human that we've created.
Thank you all for coming here today. I am Chad Bianco. I'm the sheriff of Riverside County. Yesterday afternoon, before former President Trump arrived to the rally, we made contact with an individual on the inner perimeter of our operation at the rally. The vehicle had an obviously fake license plate, and that prompted further investigation from our deputy into why the person was there and what he was doing. The vehicle was unregistered, in addition to a loaded handgun and a shotgun. The person was taken into custody. He was eventually booked into jail on those charges, and eventually he was released. He will have to further his court case is in the future.
That's my sheriff. He should run for governor. I bet he'd make an excellent governor of California.
Have you seen the TikTok from the woman who says, are we still calling Hurricane Helene a natural disaster? Or do we think it's something else since it only hit red states in the South? And my favorite part, she says, now don't come at me with geography. Dude, don't harsh my conspiracy theory with all your science and facts.
I reject your reality and substitute my own. We do find a lot of scientific explanation for our conspiracy theories, don't we? On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Please come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.